got no enemies. I ain't got no issues. I don't want no enemies. I don't want no issues. I just want peace. I just want joy, and I just want freedom. I love my
reasons why a man leaves his wife or files for divorce. Number one is another woman pushing him to do it, okay? Or number two is something real foul went down. Oh my God, her hair looks like, what are you doing?
Jeannie Mai's worst nightmare just exploded in her face after Jeezy finally snapped and dropped the bomb. The real reason behind their messy divorce. A raw, unedited tape of Jeannie and her so-called friend Mario Lopez is now floating around the dark web, and insiders swear it's only a matter of time before it's auctioned off to the highest bidder. The timing couldn't be worse for Jeannie. She spent months painting Jeezy as the bad guy, but now the tables have turned. She's the one being exposed as sneaky and two-faced, and the streets are asking the same thing. Did Jeezy really lose it in the heat of the moment? Or was he plotting this grand reveal the whole time? That's where things get wild, because fans swear they spotted the exact moment Jeezy checked out of that marriage forever, and it all went down live on camera. During an interview on The Breakfast Club, Jeezy was asked about life after marriage and if he had any regrets, but instead of bitterness, his answer shocked everyone. He looked cool, calm, collected, and said he felt great, finally free. He even said, "I'm putting myself first at all costs." That line hit hard because you could see it. Jeezy wasn't just moving on, he was done for real. And then just weeks later, the rumors exploded. Word spread fast that Jeezy had receipts that could destroy both Jeannie and Mario's careers. Reports say he caught her creeping with Mario behind his back, and the proof came straight from Jeannie's phone. Steamy messages, full of things no husband should ever have to read. He was shattered. But here's the twist. Jeezy didn't immediately file for divorce. He still hoped she'd quit the affair and fix their marriage. But everything changed the day he got a package from an anonymous source, full of tapes. Not just texts, not just flirty convos. Tapes of Jeannie and Mario in the act. Jeezy's world spun upside down in an instant. 2 years of marriage thrown away just like that. He called his lawyer quicker than Jeannie could mumble therapy session, and from that moment on, there was no turning back. Still, what really stung was the realization that deep down, he wasn't even shocked. Jeezy admitted to close friends that the red flags were always there. He just ignored them because he loved her. That truth hit him like a gut punch. And now fans are digging through old clips and posts, and the puzzle pieces are falling into place. One moment that's resurfaced is that infamous clip from The Real, where Jeannie made those messy comments about dating black and white men. Her co-host looked uncomfortable, the audience gasped, but Jeannie sat there grinning like nothing was wrong. The only person who dared to check her was Tamar Braxton, but Jeannie instantly got defensive. Looking back, people are saying it all makes sense now. If these tapes with Mario Lopez are real, then they line up exactly with what Jeannie herself admitted years ago on national TV. That black men were just her side flings, while white men were her real partners. That statement aged like a curse, and now Jeezy's supposed evidence could be the final nail in the coffin for her career. But the internet really caught fire when one particular comment started circulating. "That's why I never liked her marriage to Jeezy. She had a fetish for black men." That one statement summed up everything. And in hindsight, fans swear they saw it coming. Because if you look back, the whole relationship feels doomed from the jump. The whispers were always there. Jeannie never truly liked black men, and Jeezy was the one who paid the price. Here's where it gets dark. The red flags weren't just small, they were flashing neon signs from day one. Jeannie couldn't even hide the fact she wasn't really into black men. Think about it. She was married to a white man for over 10 years, never had kids, then suddenly turned around and got pregnant with Jeezy almost instantly. To a lot of fans, that looked less like love and more like strategy. If these tape rumors are real, it makes the whole thing feel sinister. Like Jeannie was using Jeezy to chase a fetish and build that mixed family image for her brand. And let's not forget, for the longest time, she swore she didn't want to remarry or have kids again. That's why jaws dropped when, barely a year after her divorce, she popped up with Jeezy on her arm. And this wasn't some slow burn romance. They went from strangers to engaged in less than 12 months. Under normal circumstances, maybe it wouldn't seem wild. But for someone who claimed she was done settling down, then rushed into a ring with Jeezy, fans weren't buying it. When Jeannie was asked about the whirlwind love story, she brushed it off, saying, "We're grown. We know what we want. No reason to delay." Cute on the surface, but people weren't fooled. They remembered just a year earlier, she wanted the exact opposite of what she was doing with Jeezy. To them, that was the real red flag. And sure, for a while, Jeannie and Jeezy put on the picture-perfect family image. Cute photos, smiling videos, baby moments that had Instagram swooning. On the outside, they looked like they beat the odds. But right before that 2-year anniversary, something shifted. Fans noticed Jeezy popping up less and less on her page. And when he did appear, the smiles looked forced, like they were playing a role instead of living real life. Looking back, it's obvious. This was around the time Jeezy first caught wind that Jeannie might be sneaking around with Mario. And here's the kicker. Mario and Jeannie fooled everybody. On camera, they were just friendly co-workers, nothing more. But when word of their alleged affair broke, suddenly all those innocent moments felt shady, like that interview where Mario held Jeannie and Jeezy's daughter, even giving her a little cuddle. At the time, it looked sweet, but now, people can't stop replaying it with a sick feeling in their stomachs. Imagine Jeezy watching that moment, already suspecting the truth, but staying silent to protect her image. According to insiders, Mario and Jeannie had been sending flirty texts for months, completely unaware that Jeezy had already found the messages as far back as June. By the time he filed for divorce, he knew exactly what was happening. Nobody knows the exact moment the texts crossed into a full-blown affair, but Jeezy put the puzzle together fast. And when he did, he wasted no time. Lawyer on the phone, divorce papers drawn up, joint custody demanded. And thanks to that prenup, Jeannie wasn't walking away with much more than what was legally required. In the court filings, Jeezy even made it clear they had already been separated and there was zero chance of reconciliation. That's when the gloves came off. Jeannie flipped the script and started accusing Jeezy of blindsiding her, claiming she was devastated and heartbroken. But people weren't buying the tears. Fans called it out for what it was, sympathy farming, because the truth was plain as day. The writing had been on the wall for months. Hotel security even had to get involved after Jeannie told them she didn't feel safe around Jeezy. And in another shocking incident, she claimed Jeezy grabbed her so roughly inside a car that it left scratches across her chest, 2 to 3 inches long. Jeannie said Jeezy apologized afterward, even showing screenshots of their chats and photos of the injuries. But here's the twist. The photos didn't even match the injuries she described. That's when Jeezy flipped the script in a public statement to ET. He straight up denied the allegations, calling them not only false but deeply disturbing, especially coming from someone I loved. He blasted Jeannie's claims as a malicious attempt to tarnish my character and disrupt my family, and made it clear his focus was on being a father. In his words, the truth will prevail through the legal channels. According to Jeezy, the real reason Jeannie was throwing around these allegations was because she was desperate to hold on to him and desperate for more kids. Court documents revealed that after their daughter was born, Jeannie kept pushing Jeezy to try for another child. They spent a year trying, but when nothing happened, she allegedly demanded IVF. That pressure didn't just make her look desperate, it gave life to the rumor that she was chasing a certain image, wanting mixed-race babies to boost her brand. And the streets weren't the only ones whispering. Even people in Jeannie's own circle started hinting she must have done something foul for Jeezy to finally file those divorce papers. Tamar Braxton, who has never been afraid to speak her mind, didn't hold back either. When asked about Jeannie, Tamar flat out said she believed Jeannie did something dirty to Jeezy and that we can't blame him now that he's playing his cards. And now, Jeannie's silence is deafening. No statements, no interviews, no live streams, nothing. That quiet is louder than any excuse she could ever give. Because if Jeezy really dropped his final card, if that tape is real, there's no saving her. Not her TV career, not her marriage image, not even her reputation in the court of public opinion. She built her brand on being flawless and untouchable, but now that glass image is shattered. And the only question left is this: when that tape finally hits the mainstream, will it just bury Jeannie's career? Or will it drag Mario down with her too? And you already know, this is just the beginning. If you're ready for the next bomb to drop, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a single update.